brilliant London scene changes to Windsor for the installation of the King of Denmark as a Knight of the Garter. In the time-honored procession came the traditional 6 heralds, followed by the Garter Knights, wearing the dark blue velvet mantle of the order. Field Marshal Viscount Montgomery attended, followed by other distinguished members of the services, including Field Marshal Viscount Ellenbrook and Viscount Portal of Hungerford. Another knight companion was Earl Mountbatten, while Princess Elizabeth and the Duke of Edinburgh were present, the Princess in the attractive Tudor-style hat of the order. Then King Frederik of Denmark and the Duke of Gloucester. Into the castle the procession moved, last of all the King as Sovereign of the Order, accompanied by the Queen, magnificently attired in their ceremonial robes. Finally, the arrival at St. George's Chapel for the Danish King's installation. Once again, Windsor was seeing the 600-year-old ceremony instituted by Edward III. King Frederik had received the highest order of chivalry Great Britain can offer in an unforgettable ceremony, the highlight of his 4-day visit to Britain. From the greenery of Windsor to the grey dignity of London's Guildhall, where the Lord and Lady Maris received the King and Queen of Denmark as guests of the City Corporation. Entering the ancient war-scarred building, the Danish Queen was escorted by Alderman Lowson, while the King was accompanied by London's charming Lady Maris. Slowly, the procession moved on its way to take up positions for the presentation of an address of welcome to the Danish guest of honor. Into a casket of oak, salvaged from the timbers of the Guildhall roof, was placed the address of welcome which the Lord Mayor then presented to King Frederik. Gracing this memorable London occasion with their presence were the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. In reply to the city's welcome, King Frederik spoke of London's wartime ordeals.
The scars of the war are still visible, but triumphantly the Tower of London, just beyond the boundary, reminds us of the military tradition of the British race, of its undaunted will to resist any enemy, and to assert its natural claim to leadership of free nations.
Prolonged and warm-hearted applause greeted the words of Denmark's Sailor King. It was indeed a day to be recorded in the long history of the city, a city that last entertained a Danish king in 1363, nearly 600 years ago. At last, London sunshine joined in the welcome to the royal visitors as they arrived at the South Bank site of the Festival of Britain. Among the places interest visited were the Dome of Discovery and the Sea and Ships Pavilion, in which the King took an especial interest. The same evening, Mr. Herbert Madison received distinguished guests at the government reception at Lancaster House. Among those invited were the Prime Minister and Mrs. Attlee, who were followed by the popular figure of Earl Mountbatten with the charming Countess. Then the Earl's nephew, the Duke of Edinburgh, with Princess Elizabeth. And 2 leaders of fashion, the Duchess of Kent and Princess Margaret. And a breathtaking moment with the arrival of our own Queen Elizabeth, together with Queen Ingrid, escorted by King George and King Frederik. So ended the short stay in Festival London of the heads of Denmark's royal house, who have surely taken back to their country vivid memories of their friendly neighbours across the North Sea.